Hello, I'm Bhaskar Chakravorti, the Dean of Global Business at the Fletcher School at Tufts University. And I'm here with Sergey and Lyubomyr, who are based in Ukraine. And they are part of the tech industry, which is one of the most significant industries in Ukraine. It is an engine of the Ukrainian economy. And when I say it is an engine of the Ukrainian economy, I also mean that in the present sense, which is that this is a particularly critical time for the Ukrainian economy as it is being battered by war. The tech industry in Ukraine is alive and well. And we wanted to take some time with our friends Sergey and Lyubomyr to understand how they are surviving and thriving and potentially continuing their work in their individual capacities and in their companies, and also getting a sense of the wider tech ecosystem as it is supporting the work that they do. So if I could open this discussion by asking Sergey and then Lyubomyr, but just saying a little bit about yourself, if you could just introduce yourselves and say a bit about where you are located and the work that you do and your company. And then we'll go through a series of questions, and we will take a pause and we'll come back and have a series of conversations with Sergey and Lyubomyr to continue to understand how they are doing their work as the war rages on in their above them and all around them. So should I, let's start with Sergey. Sergey, could you say a few words about yourself so that our viewers and our audience can learn more about you?
Yeah, okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Sergey Fitsak, and I'm Managing Director of IT company SoftJourn, located in Ivano-Frankivsk. It's a city of the western part of Ukraine. And our main office, R&D office, is there. I'm mostly responsible for managing delivery service and everything connected with this, like people, processes, delivery quality, etc. Yeah, so it's in my responsibility. So I'm really involved in all R&D processes in my company.
Well, thank you for that, Sergey. And is your team located where you are in Ukraine, or is it more of an international team that you work with?
At most the team in Ukraine, yeah, for sure we have several, some in other countries, yeah, mostly in Poland.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Sergey. Lyubomyr, say a little bit about yourself.
Yes, hello. So I'm Lyubomyr Nykyforuk, and I am a head of Solution Architects department at SoftJourn. And as Sergey also is located in Ivano-Frankivsk. So yeah, that's in short about myself.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us, Sergey and Lyubomyr. As you know, we are reading from the outside and watching the horrendous images, coming out of Ukraine. I think it will be really helpful for us to get a sense of how life is, where you are. How is everyone in your own teams? How are they doing, and how are your families doing?
Okay, so right now in our city, yeah, we are located, and most people in Ukraine are here or abroad of Ukraine, but in our city it's rather calm. Yeah, we had several missile strikes near our city. It's like mostly military infrastructure in airport. It was during the first day, even the first hour of the Russian invasion, and probably in 2 weeks after that, also several missiles. But right now in our city, it seems like it's most usual life, but a lot of new people from east part of Europe, from Kyiv, from Kharkiv, from other cities in our city. Yeah, and so some businesses work, some not. Our office is working, but we also see a lot of people that voluntarily support refugees, army, etc. So it's like it's a lot of different stuff is unusual stuff. Yeah, it's like normal stuff is going on. Yeah, we see like civic defense group. We see voluntarily that people and so etc. So I don't know how else I can describe it. It's but it's like sunny days, seems more or less relaxing, but on the street, you always hearing conversation about war, about some action against us, about blasting missiles. So people are, it's not about normal life, yeah, conversation. And it's what we're hearing every day.
Well, thank you for that, Sergey. Lyubomyr, anything you would like to add to that?
Yeah, well, you know what, generally, I would say that our city is, living its normal life as it can be normal in this situation. So you wouldn't even say that it's part of the whole, military actions that's going on in Ukraine. Obviously, we are quite far, so we are at least like 500 kilometers from the places where military actions are taken. So we don't feel that so much, but as Sergey mentioned, yes, we do prepare for that. So we have our, local territory defense units, and definitely, some like time where we need to shut off all the light and all of that stuff just to be proactive and just prepare for some possible actions. But yeah, that's for now. You would say that it's more or less normal life in such conditions as it could be.
Okay. Well, that sounds about as best case scenario as one can imagine, given the horrendous images from the rest of the country. And I'm wondering whether you have family, you and your colleagues have family and other team members, from your own organization in the more affected cities, whether it's Kharkiv or Kyiv or Mariupol, Odessa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have several. It's like we moved more than dozens families from other cities, and it's or in our city, Ivano-Frankivsk, or abroad of Ukraine. Yeah, and actually, our first priority and probably the main priority is safety of our people and their families. Yeah, because it's probably the most important thing is when you're feeling that your family is safe and in safe place. After that, you can just to analyze the situation and think more appropriate. Yeah, because it's like it's nature. Yeah, for each person just to worry about families. Yeah, about suppose kids. Yeah, so it's
sure.
And mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So if I could just pivot a little bit to the work that you are doing. The two most important ingredients in your work are technology as in connectivity, and the technology that you're working on, and the second is talent, which is the great teams that you have around you. What are the challenges that you are experiencing right now on the technology front and on the talent front?
Actually, I don't see any issue from technology front. Probably, yeah, because actually we already had contingency plan, and we started this plan like 8 years ago, even after this Maidan revolution, yeah, in Ukraine. And we understand that technology is our priority in our business. So we set several internet lines from different providers. We set electricity reserves, office, so etc. So from technology point, seems no issues. Yeah, and probably Ukraine has rather developed IT industry and a lot of different providers from different connections. So even it was the case when one provider's pipes and cables were broken, so other providers just work rather good. So in Ukraine, yeah. So I don't see any issue in our part. Yeah, for sure in the part in the hot part, yeah, it's some issue with connection, mobile connection, but in Ukraine, for example, our mobile providers decided to use their own
network.
Satellite retranslator for just to backup each other. So, and it's also good. From the talents, most issue is probably we're dealing with personal like anxiety, or some voice about families, and I found several stages how people reacted on the situations that we have, and we each day just communicate a lot with people about their personal feelings. Yeah, so, and probably it's the biggest issue that we have right now.
Yeah. I just can add that, even to landlines, we also will, we are going to establish a Starlink connection, so that we even have like a satellite internet connection line to back up our office connectivity. And as Sergey mentioned, also have a, generators and all that stuff that can help us keep up and running. And in terms of team members, yes, I work with teams that have the team members are located in Kyiv, in Mykolaiv, where it's more, call it risk region, right? So that they obviously people don't like to leave their homes, and they will stay there till almost the critical point. So, and we had cases where people just relocated, and company helped them to relocate. They organized buses, they organized accommodation in Poland, in Ivano-Frankivsk. We rented apartment proactively before that all started. So they have where to accommodate people in multiple safe places. So. And yeah, we had cases that people moved from that regions just to be safe and keep doing their work.
Yeah, we even organized like kindergarten, yeah, in our office, yeah, separate room. So it's for kids of our people. So it's like, yeah, so it's not usual for IT company. Yeah, we are not dealing with IT technology, but started dealing more with people. Yeah.
So that was a lot of, a big task list for HR department, just to make sure that, people are organized, they are informed, they know what are the options, how they can move to the safe area, how they can be supported from the company perspective. So that was all done in advance.
Okay, well, that is very heartening to hear, and it seems like there's a lot of moving parts in where you are, but also coordinating with your colleagues and their families on the eastern side of the country. I'm curious about contingency plans. We hope that the war does not intensify, but it seems like there is no, at least currently, doesn't seem to be an end in sight. And what kinds of plans do you have in place in case things do get much worse on the western side where you are, particularly in terms of internet connectivity, and also because a lot of and I'm assuming men are being conscripted to go out and fight. So I'm curious about whether you have any plans in place to attend to those difficulties if they do arise.
Yeah, and as Lyubomyr mentioned, yeah, we have like backup, with set up backup internet connection, not only landlines, but also satellite. We installed autonomic electricity generator in our office. So I understand if something happened with electricity, yeah, it's we have autonomic generator. Also, we have like a map of our people. It's not only in our city, it's also in regions near our city. So it's more or less like spread through different regions. So if in one region we have something broken, we have ability to work in other. So we continue to move people from Ukraine to abroad. We have organized several buses, at least 4, and continue to do it and discuss how we can help people, especially women and their kids, to live abroad. It's some difficulties with men to move abroad because we have like restriction in our law, but also I communicate a lot with government, local government and central government, just to understand the risk for our people, for our talents. So it's like a lot of communication around it, yeah. And also we started to create backups to find people who already moved to abroad, to work with them. So just to be sure that all our teams and projects, and so we have like backups, people that already started to transfer some knowledges, yeah.
So I have one more final question, and then we'll pause and we'll have another session. The final question, you mentioned government, and I'm curious about how the government is, encouraging you to continue working and keeping your company and the industry running. But B, what kind of support are you getting from the government? Whether it's the national government or your local government.
Actually, probably the main and support what we have right now, they explicitly translated that they want that everyone that not in military part of, like in the hot point of, yeah, just to work and continue to work, yeah. Right now, they want to change our laws according to like taxation and they removed a lot of no needed restriction limits. I don't know, they change the tax system, so, and support people, just simplify a lot of rules that we had before the war. So yeah, and they trying to do it like, and it helps us.
Yeah, I can just add that our Ministry of Digital Transformation, well, we have such a ministry. So they have a, and it's more like advice, but it's really getting more and more respected to try to keep people involved in IT, not involved in the first or second wave of the military forces, involvement in military forces. So that's how they understand that we are actually part of IT army. They call it IT army. That also is contributing to the success of this situation, right? So in different vectors. From one vector, it's just also performing tasks in IT sphere, call it like that, but also keeping money flow into your Ukraine economy, right? So and that's fueled our war defense system, right? So that's also important thing.
Well, fantastic. Thank you, Sergey and Lyubomyr, for this conversation. This ends the first episode of our discussion on how the tech industry in Ukraine is both continuing its work and is part of the IT army. This is Bhaskar Chakravorti, Dean of Global Business at the Fletcher School at Tufts, signing off.